Why are divorces increasing, and what it says about us? Pause 3 seconds. There was a time when people got married believing this is forever. Today, nearly every second marriage in developed countries ends in divorce. Almost every second. Pause. The average marriage that ends in divorce lasts about 8 years. 8 years of holding hands, 8 years of building a home, 8 years of saying we, and then learning how to say I again. Pause. Why? Has love died? No, love hasn't died. It simply can't survive illusions anymore. Pause. In the past, people stayed because they couldn't leave. Women were financially dependent. Men feared social judgment. Society applied pressure. Today we are free. But freedom is not a guarantee of happiness. Freedom is a test of maturity. And maybe we are failing it. Pause. We want passion without effort, understanding without conversations, loyalty without working on ourselves. We want to be accepted completely, yet we are not ready to accept someone else's flaws. Pause. Social media shows perfect relationships, and every time our home feels quiet, tired, or tense, we assume there must be something better out there. There is always better, but rarely deeper. Pause 2 seconds. In many countries, women initiate divorce more often, not because they became colder, but because they no longer accept pain as a virtue, and that matters. But there is another truth. We are less willing to tolerate not only pain, but difficulty. Every conflict is a red flag. Every misunderstanding feels like a reason to leave. We forgot how to fight, not against each other, but for each other. Pause. Divorce is not just a legal document. It's the night you lie next to someone and realize you are already strangers. It's the quiet moment when we slowly turns into you and I. It's children asking questions with no simple answers. Pause 3 seconds. And here is the hardest thought. The rise in divorce is not only a crisis of love, it is a crisis of depth. We learn to talk about boundaries, about self-worth, about personal happiness, but no one taught us how to endure someone else's complexity. To love means to see imperfection and still choose to stay. Pause. Sometimes divorce is salvation. Sometimes it is the only honest way out. But sometimes it is simply two people who could not survive the stage of growing up. Softer. Because love is not a feeling. It is a daily decision. To stay when it's easier to leave. To talk when it's easier to stay silent. To forgive when pride is screaming. Pause. And here is the real question. Do we want to be happy, or do we want to be mature? Because without maturity, happiness never lasts. Long pause. 4 seconds. If nearly half of marriages are ending, maybe the problem is not love. Maybe we are not ready for its real form. Pause. Tell me in the comments, is divorce a failure, or is it honesty? And ask yourself the hardest question of all. When it becomes difficult tomorrow, will you leave, or will you stay and grow? Silence. If you want, I can now. Adjust it to sound more American, stronger rhythm, sharper hooks. Make it more cinematic and dramatic. Or optimize it specifically for YouTube retention. First 15 seconds extremely gripping,